Okay, we are recording. Let me turn my camera on. Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Sam with the Bluegrass Council of the Blind. Welcome back. Marty.
Yeah. Let me stop that.
Marty's alarm starts going off. As soon as I started, yeah.
That's my phone, man, acting all crazy. It won't stop. There it goes.
Okay. All right, let's start. Take two.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Sam with the Bluegrass Council of the Blind. Welcome back to another AT group seminar. This time we are talking about the white cane and some of the crazy white cane technology that's out there right now. As always, if you would like to see more of these videos and some of our other events, be sure to head over to our YouTube channel, the Bluegrass Council of the Blind, and check out all the other stuff we're doing there. If you would like to reach out to us directly, you can visit our website, bcbky.org. You can give us a phone call, 859-259-1834, or you can send us an email, info@bcbky.org. And I'll repeat all that at the end of the video too. So, okay, first things first, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the history of the white cane and just some information about it. A lot of people are curious, where this all came from. We already got someone asking the question, what's up with the red stripe on canes? And so we're going to talk about that as well. And then I've got I'll swing the camera around, and I've got a bunch of canes in the office today, and we're going to take a look and talk about some of these crazy canes. Okay, so the history of the white cane, where it all came from. The cane, as it is right now, has at its barest root, it's a mobility tool. It's for blind people to use to help navigate their world, but it's also become a symbol for blindness. And in fact, I would argue that more of the cane's power comes as it being a symbol rather than a mobility tool. But where did it come from? How long have we been using it? Well, humans have been using some type of walking stick or cane for blind and visually impaired for like millennia, since biblical times. We've been using canes and walking sticks. But the actual white cane was first invented in 1921 by a gentleman, what is his name? James Biggs from Bristol, England. He is credited as the first person to come up with the white cane. And he was just an older gentleman, and he was kind of frustrated by the increasing traffic in his area. And he was using a black cane, a walking cane. And he decided that if he painted it white, maybe the motorists would be able to see it better. And so he's the first one to come up with it. But it seems like a lot of people were thinking about that around the same time, because around the same time in 1931, the BBC is the first ones in Europe to officially declare that blind people should start using a white cane to mark them or to identify them as having vision impairment and as a mobility tool. Across the pond around the same time, right around 1931, here in the US, we credit the Lions Club of America as being the ones that discovered how a white cane could be helpful for the blind. And basically the same way, they just noticed that people trying to navigate traffic, they might be more visible if they had a white cane instead of the traditional black cane. So that was 1931. After World War II, prior to World War II, there wasn't any kind of regulated system for using the cane. It was just however you needed to use it, you could use it. But after World War II, a gentleman named Richard Hoover, who was a doctor, came back from the war, and he was a military man, and he decided that he needed to invent a method, a standardized method for cane use, and start teaching that. And that became known as the Hoover method of cane use. And that is what most people use today, the tapping back and forth. And if you think about it, Richard Hoover was, like I said, he was a military man, so he was used to marching. And so that's why the cane use became kind of a march. You tap, tap, tap as you walk, very rhythmic. So just like marching, soldiers marching. So that was the Hoover method of cane travel. In 1964, the White Cane Safety Day, which is October 15th, was finally recognized. And Lyndon B. Johnson was the first president to sign that into law to recognize October 15th as White Cane Safety Day. And his proclamation for this, this day is really cool. I don't have it here, but I encourage people to go Google it and read it because it said some very empowering, inspirational things. He declared the white cane a staff of independence is what he called it. And that's kind of how I picture it as well. So that is the basic history of the white cane. There's a lot more to it, obviously. A lot of lobbying, I guess you could say, by groups, you know, teachers of the visually impaired, a lot of advocacy groups trying to get it declared as, you know, a symbol throughout the 50s and the 60s. And that's when 1964 Johnson finally did that. But prior to that, Peoria, Illinois was the very first city to declare that anybody using a white cane has a full right of way in traffic situations, and that became a law for the first time in the US in Peoria, Illinois. So there's a lot more to the history of the white cane. This is just a little taste. But now let's get on to the colors. So that's usually one of the biggest questions. Marty on the call, that was his first question, was what's up with the colors? The colors, they serve two purposes. Number one is to be more visible, to make the cane more visible. And this was something I read in researching all of this. And somebody stated that in the US here anyways, the red section was added to the white cane to make it more visible in the wintertime. If you can imagine there's snow on the ground and you're walking around with a white cane, that cane isn't going to be too visible. So they added in the red section to make it more visible. And red is a very, in nature, red is a very striking color that draws your attention. But in European countries and other places, having a color on the cane actually represents a certain type of vision impairment. Now, this isn't like hard and fast rules. A lot of people don't follow these rules. So if, you know, doesn't mean you have to use this particular type of cane if you have this particular type of vision impairment. These are just kind of, you know, fun trivia things. But generally, a solid white cane is representative of total blindness. No light, no vision at all. If you have a cane with the red segment or the red or one single red stripe, that indicates partial sight, low vision. And if you have a cane that has multiple red stripes or alternating red and white stripes, then that represents deaf blindness, so hearing impairment and vision loss. But like I said, that's not necessarily the case anymore. I mean, you can get purple canes if you want, and you can have a cane every color of the rainbow if you want. So it's not necessarily the case, but still kind of interesting. Yeah. Okay, so that was it for our little trivia. Anybody got any questions about that yet? Pretty straightforward. Marty, you have any questions? I guess not. Okay. All right, I'm going to rearrange the camera here. And then we will, all right, let's take a look at some canes.
I thought the red was to hide the blood.
Oh, what did you say, Marty?
I thought the red was to hide the blood. In case you hit by a car or something, you know.
Okay, so I've got a wide variety of canes here. One thing to note is that, which a lot of people don't realize, Sherry, you kind of mentioned it when you came in, is that there's different types of canes for different situations. I kind of equate it to canes are like shoes. And this really comes into play more with when we're talking about the different types of tips, cane tips. But they're like shoes where, you know, I get home from school, I put on my sneakers, I go out to play. You know, if it's raining, I put on my rain boots. If it's snowing, I put on my snow boots. So for different situations, you might use different shoes. Same thing with canes. We have three basic types of canes. There is the mobility cane, which is the most durable, most robust of all the canes. There is the probing cane, and that is, it's not as strong as a mobility cane. It's kind of in the middle. It's used for someone who has partial sight that maybe just needs to test out stairs, curbs, things like that. And then there's the identification cane, and that's the lightest, thinnest oftentimes. In Europe, it's very common that your ID cane is only about 2 feet long and you just carry it. It doesn't even touch the ground. It's just to signify to people around you that you have a vision impairment. It's not used for mobility or anything like that, obstacle detection, anything like that. I don't have any of the really small, lightweight ID canes, but I do have everything else. Then there's like a fourth genre of canes, which I call it the kind of oddball canes, the out of the norm canes. We have several of those here today. So let's start here.
Remember you were telling me about a cane that was like a electronic?
Yeah, I've got that today.
I was talking about that. I'd like to see how that one works.
Yeah. So we'll probably just pass these around. So this first one is a mobility cane. So it's a full-on strong cane. And most of these canes are going to be from Ambutech. That's where we get most of our canes from. Ambutech is a Canadian company that makes canes. You can buy them on Amazon. But the interesting thing about this, and where a lot of the cane technology comes into play, is in the tips. So we'll be focusing a lot on the different tips. But this is a rolling ball tip. It rolls, and it's kind of shaped like a ball. It just has a flat top where it connects to the cane. But this one, if I spin it really good, it lights up. It flashes.
It totally does.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's kind of
Like
like
kids have on their sneakers.
Exactly.
I was thinking to myself, because I always
always
wish that mine would roll with the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, here we'll have to get you one of them. Then,
Yeah.
If you like it. And the more you roll it, the brighter. Oh, that is.
Yeah, it just
cool.
works. It doesn't need batteries or anything. It just works with the friction.
That would definitely help a person.
So
you can
in my
roll 'em.
situation
You can roll if you want to try it.
at nighttime.
Yeah.
Really help with my depth perception.
Now, just curious, what is your vision impairment? Like how, like do you see it all?
I do. I am legally blind in my left eye. It's 20/600. So I pretty much only have one decent eye. I am fortunate enough that I can still drive during the day, but I have extreme depth perception issues, which is why I need a cane to navigate.
You wanna get up and
Oh
try it?
man, I like this.
You wanna get up and try it?
Yeah, you feel
steps
free to.
and trips and sidewalks and stairs.
I like how
Oh,
long,
yeah.
I like how long it is
yeah.
too.
So
Yeah.
how does Sam?
Oh man, see, I
Yeah.
like that
Does it have a
because I can't see
battery?
it all.
It doesn't have a battery, no. And that's
How
No,
does
he
it
said
work?
it works off for friction.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just as
So,
you
As it spins, the friction causes the light to come on.
Okay.
Yeah. And can I bring in the
I think the
other.
light would be good for everyone else, like
Well, that's what it's
Yeah.
it's for
like identifying and stuff.
so
you know?
people can see you at
Especially
night.
like at night,
Yeah.
if I'm walking or something.
Yeah,
I
it
really
doesn't.
like how long it is though.
Well, that's yeah, we can talk about how to measure a cane for your particular body
Oh,
size and stuff if you want. That's no problem.
Yeah, I like it. I like this one a lot.
Okay.
His
Just
mom, way back when this happened, his mom just bought him this one, I know.
I just got it
Yeah.
off of Amazon.
And-
I'm sliding this one back to you. Sam.
Okay. thank you. I don't want to knock anything down.
You good?
Blind, leading the blind here.
Yeah. I normally tell her she's a cripple leading the blind. Because we try to walk and we
I
use our,
have a
we use our
cane.
canes on the same side. So when I'm
Sure.
trying to use my her right shoulder to walk. Like we'll be tapping each other's cane.
You keep telling me to take my cane and use it on the other side, but I'm used to it. The thing.
So walk
that
down the
was
street.
a,
Oh, God.
So that was a rolling ball tip that lights up, but rolling ball tips just by themselves, they're very popular cane tips. So that might be something you want to look into.
Yeah, I've been thinking about, like, I've been telling myself, like, I wish I had something that would like roll a little bit, because the way I haven't been taught, but the way I've like taught myself to use mine is kind of like almost kind of like a hover on the
Mhm.
ground instead of a tap.
Yeah.
You know, back and forth, but I feel like the ball would be a whole lot easier. That way I can just guide it.
Yeah, yep. Okay, the next one is called a telescopic cane. And so it actually telescopes out like, you know, old type of pirate. Yeah, or like an umbrella.
Now, if that had the ball on it,
Oh,
I'd
cool.
buy that in a second.
Well, you
Can you
usually,
Can you change the tips?
some of them you can, like it just unscrews and screws right out. So you can probably find a ball, if I sell a ball that screws in there.
Because I too, don't tend to tap, I tend to swoop.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like one of those old, little kids
So-
toys, just pull it straight out,
Just,
like pull the tip.
oh.
So like collapse into itself.
Yep,
Yeah.
kind of like one of the, like a periscope that.
Yeah,
you know,
I
the
get it, I
pirates
get
would
it.
use.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it has benefits and it has downsides. The benefit is it's portable. They're super lightweight because they're made out of plastic.
Right.
The downside is that when you extend it, you're supposed to kind of pull it out and kind of give it a little twist to lock those things into place.
Yeah.
And if you
Oh.
don't, they will
You're right.
collapse.
Yeah,
on
while
you.
you're
And that
using
just
it, it
happens.
collapse.
Yeah, it happens all the time. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
So unless you're told, does it come with instructions to tell you to?
Not really. No.
So unless you get the education, you're right, because I
Yeah.
didn't, and it was collapsing.
Yeah.
Versus,
So that's just a,
so
Kind of a
then how
given.
do you uncollapse it?
Probably just a nice little tap.
yeah, push them down. Some people will push it down on
Oh.
the ground.
Okay.
Sometimes they get a little stuck in themselves. I owned one of those and very quickly broke it because
Yeah, that seemed
collapsed
a
it too
little
fast.
cumbersome in.
Yeah.
Extending it was easy, putting it back wasn't quite as fluid.
yeah.
I'm gonna pass this off to you right in front of you.
All right, thank you.
It's collapsed right now.
Oh, that's really neat.
Everybody-
I'll be honest with you, that's really neat. I
Kids-
really like that.
Whenever I show it to kids, they always think it looks like a lightsaber when it's closed up.
Oh, yeah.
And they make them smaller. They make them all different sizes. I mean, our boss Theresa has one that it looks like a large magic marker.
Oh,
And it
okay.
fully
That's
extends.
how mine used to be that I cannot find anymore.
I
Yeah.
mean, I like this design too. That's really neat.
Yeah.
That's really neat. Just maybe if they like had this same design, but invented like a better locking mechanism for it while it's out. you know?
Yeah.
Here's this one. Here's one.
Okay. And then this next one is, put it back here so I don't get confused. So this is called the no jab cane, and one thing you can notice on this is it has a pencil tip. So the pencil tip is not going to be great for tapping back and forth, or when you slide back and forth on the ground. That's called constant contact. So it's not the best for those. This is really going to be good for identification or light probing. You know, if you need to tap stairs or a curb, because the pencil tip gets stuck in everything. It's just like, you'll see it when you get it, Christian.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about this particular cane is why it's called the no jab cane is because they built a spring into the handle.
Oh, so like when it jabs, it kind of reflexes back.
Exactly. As
Okay,
you're
I
walking
get it.
along, it won't stab you in the stomach if you run into something.
Oh, yeah.
My old IDE cane.
I've had
never
that happen
did
to me a
that.
couple times. Like I've hit like a curb or something and
Yeah.
jabbed myself into the rib or something.
Yep. So you'll,
Okay.
you'll see this
Yeah,
one.
my old cane,
Mhm.
right now, I'm really happy I can't find it. Because this would have been hugely better because I need it for the depth perception issues.
What I'm seeing, Sam, is if I can say something, it looks like there's parts of this one, parts of this one, and parts of this one, that somebody needs to come up with.
Combine them all
The best-
together.
the best of all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Isn't
see?
that cool?
Yeah, but feel the end of it, it's just
Feel
straight,
pencil tip.
Christian, there's no.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm used to, but that addition of
Yeah.
the spring, I
Like,
used
feel
to
that.
jab myself in the gut.
That's really nice.
So Christian, stand up. It's very short, so it's much shorter than you're used to. But like,
Well, it's
walk-
actually about as tall as mine that I have right now.
Yeah,
Like,
that's.
turn,
Yeah.
turn around and walk at the door behind you and bump into it, and you'll see that it. No, it doesn't.
No, well, I made it to where it would lock on me. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
like it doesn't jab you. Like, it's
Yeah, he's kind of jabbed a few times with his.
yeah.
And that one, the no jab, it comes with a soft sheepskin leather. It's the handle's red too, so it just looks a little fancier.
Yeah, no, I like the handle. It's like really soft.
Yeah.
What a
Now,
difference
does
from
this
my
one
other
collapse at
cane.
all? Oh, it does too. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's regular collapsing cane.
Okay.
So that's sold by Ambitech now. They bought out the company. And,
This is right in front of you.
I think they're about,
It's on his end.
there you go.
Can I get that through Maxi Aids?
I don't know if they sell it through Maxi or not.
Okay.
But this is probably about close to like an $80 cane. I mean, they're more expensive
Yeah, but
because it's kind of a special.
I'd really like not to fall anymore at night.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam, that brings a question up. Does any insurance cover canes for blind?
No, not usually. No. They don't
That's
see it as
ridiculous.
they don't see it as a medical
They
device.
don't.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
I know.
There ought to be one.
We agree.
Okay.
But you can get a hospital bed, or a potty chair.
Yeah, or a wheelchair or something. Okay, so this is just a normal
Oh,
Ambitech
this one's
style
different,
cane
right?
as well.
Oh, well,
Wait,
that's
you-
different.
You were, I don't know.
No, this is a
How would you
specialty.
use that?
Special.
So this is called the Dakota disc, and Christian, it looks like a paper plate stuck on the bottom of the thing.
Oh, okay.
So this is used for surfaces like sand and snow.
Oh, all right.
So it kind of acts like a snowboard where it just slides
Yeah,
right
yeah,
across.
yeah. So
You-
does like the board part like swivel a little bit maybe?
it does,
Yeah.
you'll see. It,
Okay,
yeah.
I get it. I get it.
And it's very thin plastic, so if you tried to do this on concrete, it would tear it up very quickly.
Yeah.
So it's very specialized tip,
Interesting.
but it just kind of slides right along. It hovers right along. There you go.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you wanted to take a walk near a lake or a
Mhm.
park where it had dirt or grass,
Yeah,
would
yeah.
this be something
Yeah.
that you could use in
Yeah,
that?
just
Or
like
if
hover over the grass because
Somebody lived in Canada and where it's going to be snowing, 8 months of the year, something like that.
yeah, because I
Will
had
it here? Do I need one?
I had difficulties just using mine, like just walking through like tall grass.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
Would that be okay through tall grass?
It
or-
would, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would guide right over.
Because
top.
it would be on top.
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. I've never seen a cane like this before.
So that's just the tip. So you can put that tip on any cane.
This,
Oh, okay.
so all of these are tips.
Yep.
So
Most of them, yeah.
Is
yeah.
that Amutech or what you were saying? Do they sell tips?
They do.
Oh, I get
So are
it.
they universal for most canes?
Not necessarily. Most
Oh.
tips will fit. There's only a couple styles that tips come in. So chances are you buy a tip, it will fit your cane. And there's hook tips and then
That's cool.
there's slide on tips. So a slide on tip just sticks on the end, kind of like the cap on a pin.
Oh, it's, oh.
Now, see, that would be something to
Yeah.
investigate for the future.
I like
Instead of buying 3 or 4 different canes,
Just one-
if you could have the cane you like
Right.
and have the one that he has in his hand now versus the one with the ball.
I broke it down for you, Sam.
All right. Thank you.
That, do you
Yeah.
think they're ever gonna get there
Possibly.
in the future? when-
Well, I mean, we are there now. I mean, this is the exact same cane as, this other
The first one?
several I
Oh.
showed you.
Okay.
It's just the tip is
Just a
different.
different tip.
because the tip-
Oh.
The tip comes out
Oh, I
and you
see.
can take the tip off and change your tips. So
Oh.
that light up
Yeah,
on the tip
exactly.
can go on this cane just as easily.
So one cane, a few different.
Yeah.
Tips,
Yeah,
although
And-
you're struggling,
well, it's hard to do.
you don't have to.
It's okay.
I do need to put it back together.
Oh, that.
There we go. Okay.
Well, that's good to know that we can, we have a cane that we do like, but have the
Yeah.
ability to interchange based on the terrain that we're walking
Yep.
on. That's a
Yeah, that's cool.
giant leap forward from when I got my first ID cane 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
Okay, so this one is bizarre.
Oh, that is.
This is called the Bandu Basher. I know.
What?
And this is, once again, this is just a tip on the end of a regular cane that we've been looking at all along.
Okay.
What's a bandu?
Bandu Basher, yes. This is, Christian, it looks like a pencil tip. So it's long and skinny,
Okay.
but it's about a foot long and it's curved at the end. It's kind of hooks up at the end. It kind of looks like a snow ski, actually, a round snow ski.
Okay.
But what this is supposed to be used for is long grass, underbrush in woods, things like that. I think it was originally designed in like Africa for people like out on the Serengeti and stuff. I've tried to use it. It doesn't work at all for me. And I can't find any kind of information online about how you're supposed to use it.
You don't live in a
Only thing-
jungle.
Yeah. The only thing that I heard is that you're supposed to do it in an S fashion.
Can you demonstrate what
Yeah.
you do know?
You're supposed to walk with it and it's supposed to go in an S like this.
Like this, like you remember.
Yeah.
And how would that not get caught in?
I don't know.
tall-
I've also,
That's kind of weird.
I ordered this on a website, but I've also seen other pictures of this type of tip, and theirs was much more curved. And I'm wondering if this just isn't curved enough. Like theirs was curved a lot, which would keep it from getting stuck. But yeah, this thing gets stuck in everything. It is very bouncy, so for 2-point touch, it's probably going to work great.
Okay.
There you go. But it's just something interesting. I had to get it. It was like $20, so.
Yeah, I'm just having trouble.
Yeah, that's
figuring out
odd.
What good it.
To me, it looks like a giant straw on
But
the end.
I wonder if you're supposed to kind of whack like you do going through some
Can I
bushes.
try? No.
Sure.
You can go out the parking lot. And
Yeah,
walk
there's
through
plenty
the
of
trees.
underbrush out there.
Yeah, that is. And how would you know? Like, I have enough vision that I can see it, but if you don't, I totally wouldn't recommend it for somebody
No.
Yeah,
that is definitely odd.
that's probably why we don't see them around anywhere.
Yeah, it even kind of sticks to the carpet.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're tapping it. Definitely different at your 3 o'clock.
It just held on by wing nuts, which is also kind of.
Oh, okay. I knew what you
That's
said.
weird.
That's an odd one.
Yeah,
I knew what you said.
I'm sure there's,
Coming
I'm
your way,
sure
Sam.
that there is a purpose for it and a use for it and probably people that are using it, but
yeah. Okay, now we get to the really interesting ones. So this one is old school. This has been around for a long time. And it's just a wheel. It's just a single wheel on the bottom of a cane. Christian, it looks like the front wheel of a wheelbarrow,
Oh, okay.
just on the bottom of a cane.
Okay.
And I think it's ridiculous because if you've ever pushed a wheelbarrow, you know, if you lean one way, it starts going that way
Uh-huh.
quick.
Yeah.
So this is the exact same thing. It'll go whatever way that thing is pointing. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
haven't
I
seen
feel
one
like
of these in years.
I feel like the ball would be more beneficial
Yeah.
because you can
Oh,
like
that's-
direct it whichever way you want, not have to be taken off a different direction.
Yeah, this thing is driving you. You're not driving.
Yeah.
it.
that one, it may be more, I'm not an inventor or anything, but maybe if that wasn't locked in one position, was more of a swivel. it had
Yeah.
good-
Maybe, because I'll tell you what, versus the ball, this is terrible.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even.
No
know- I
offense
didn't
to
even know
whoever
there was
made
a-
it.
I didn't even know there was a ball. I was just thinking in my head, I wish there was a ball that moved, and then
Well,
told
The
me
ball
there-
is far more.
you told me there was
controllable
one
this-
today, and I'm like, yeah, I need that. I'm looking into that when I leave here.
What I'm noticing for myself is I'm having to pay too much attention,
Hey, Marion.
the wheel and the direction.
Hey,
which
Marty.
I'm afraid would make.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
I was just saying hey to Marion.
Of my.
She just
Oh, is that
joined
Mary?
She's Marion. She just joined the meeting.
Oh,
But sort of like a surveyor thing, Christian.
I think the
Hi,
swivel
Mary,
thing would
welcome.
be better, otherwise.
Yeah.
I
Thank
feel
you.
like I'm paying too much attention to have to
yeah.
keep an eye on it.
I already know how it's gonna work. Here you go, Sam.
Clearly not one of our favorites.
Yeah.
So I will say that there's a company out of Australia that has a new cane tip that does have a swiveling wheel
Mhm.
and it's smaller. I've seen videos of it. They're supposed to be sending me one for a testing sometime soon. So, but my favorite rolling tip
Looks like a.
is this guy.
Double wheels.
That looks like.
Is that the Omni wheel, Sam?
It does. If you can imagine, Christian, if you take the old school roller skates that have 4 wheels,
Oh, yeah.
and you
Yeah.
just take the 2 front wheels off and stick it on the bottom of a cane.
Okay.
Now, this is called the Omni Sense, and this is my actual
Yeah.
cane. This is the tip that I use all the time. The Omni Sense tip, and it says it's called Omni because it can roll in any direction.
Yeah.
So it can roll forwards and backwards, but each wheel has these little barrels on them that roll sideways. So it can roll laterally. So because of that, you can move in all directions. You can roll in any direction you want. And it doesn't.
Now that's cool.
Yeah, I love this tip. This is the tip that I use when I go roller skating, when I go skateboarding, because I can actually feel the ramp right before I get to it, and it rolls right in front of
You
me.
skateboard?
Yeah,
You're kidding.
I know.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was about to say, I skateboarded for like 10, 15 years, man. I like, my favorite was street, but I like vert, but I
You
like
don't have
street.
to- When you go some.
Yeah,
maybe you
this-
and him could-
I used to till blew my knee out.
Where do you, is there a park here?
we usually go to, what's the park up in north, like Chevy Chase, Woodland. We go to
Yeah, Woodland, I was about to say Woodland, yeah, I used to skate there all the time.
But,
We live in Paris and they actually made a skateboard park over there.
For one of my buddies that passed away, we made a skateboard park for him.
nice.
That puts that single wheel
Yeah.
to shame. There's completely no
Try that
comparison.
one, Christian. That's the one Sam likes the best.
Now, if you feel it though, there's a little horn that kind of sticks out in between the wheels on one side. And that is a kickstand. So when you lean it up against the wall, it won't roll away on you.
I did not
Okay,
notice.
so the
That's
horn
cool.
should be facing kind of like out when you're using it.
Yeah, it
right?
should be facing up. Yeah,
Okay.
because
I
it will
get
drag in the ground and you can feel it.
No, I just kind of like felt the drag.
Yeah.
So I was like, what that was. Okay, now I don't, now the drag is gone because I have the
You
horn.
like that one?
Yeah, me personally, I like the other one better.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that one
Yeah,
is.
the ball is so far my favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. Coming towards you, Sam?
All right. I need to introduce you, Christian, to.
May I ask a question
Sure.
about this? You said that there was something.
You feel the little
Oh,
horn thing. I've kind of worn it down a little bit on concrete.
I got you. And I wasn't paying attention. So
Yeah,
you
yeah. I felt that.
actually, when you're putting it together, you would, I would need to pay attention to, okay, which side is that on?
Yeah, and
I didn't pay attention to that.
if you put it down and roll it, it'll roll, but upside down, it drags. You can feel
Yeah,
it.
I
drag.
felt that because when I first started moving, I was getting stuck
Oh.
on the carpet a little bit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I flipped it over and it was just moving.
Okay, so,
perfect.
okay, now that, okay,
Yeah.
that's a great way of testing. Then you're not having to reach with your hand.
Exactly, yeah.
You can,
You feel it pretty
you
quickly.
feel it pretty quick. Okay, thank you.
And it's, the reason is because if I lean it up like this, it just
Yeah.
rolls away. But if I flip it around and lean it up,
Oh,
Okay, I
if it's
get
up
it,
high
yeah.
enough, the little horn catches. If it hasn't been worn down, like I've
Right.
worn mine down. This is my second one. I've used it so much.
oh my goodness.
But Chris,
Same cane, but just a new tip?
yep.
Okay,
Yeah, because
good.
once again, it's a hook tip, so it hooks onto the cord inside
Okay.
and stays locked in.
Are most of them that way now?
Most of them are, yeah.
Okay.
But Chris, I've worked with a guy named Justin Bishop a couple times.
Okay.
I did a photo shoot up in New York with him last year, but he professional blind skateboarder.
Oh, word.
Yeah, he's won championships and he's amazing. So look him up on Instagram and stuff. Justin Bishop.
Justin Bishop, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
He uses a beep box, which is this little box that beeps. He puts that on the ramp and he'll investigate the ramp and feel it out with his cane and stuff first. And then he'll go and then he'll have that box beeping. And that's how he knows where the ramp is and when he needs to do his thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So we have the electronic one here still, but before we get to that, this is called the Giza Hand LED cane. So this is just a regular fold-up cane, but in the handle here, there's a little secret compartment and there's a battery pack. And if I put the battery pack
Oh, look at
It's
that.
got
in, the bottom section lights up with LED lights.
Wow.
So it's just a normal cane, It has a rolling marshmallow tip. So this is a marshmallow tip that rolls. But other than that, it just lights up.
Wow.
And it does add a little bit of like a flashlight or headlights at night if you do have vision. But it's really more to alert people around you that you're out there walking around and not to hit you or run into you.
Now, if this had a ball on it,
Well, you can put a ball on it. It can take different tips.
how do we honestly really know the size cane that we need?
So if you're using it for mobility, like Christian will be using it for mobility, there's some general rules, and none of this is set in stone, but guidelines, general guidelines. You can do armpit. So like if I grab one of my canes here, this one is taller than my armpit, but it could go into your armpit, collarbone, which is what this one is for me, or chin length. Those are general guidelines for.
This is got right here.
Yeah, I felt it.
It's all bright LED like.
Yeah, I felt
You
it.
don't want one of them, you don't like that.
It's interesting, but it's kind of novelty. I mean, it doesn't really serve any purpose.
Yeah.
But the thing for mobility users though is if you're a fast walker, you want a longer cane.
Yeah, I'm a fast
Slow
walker.
walker, yeah.
Slow walker, then it really, and if you're just using it for general navigation, like, testing stairs and stuff, the height doesn't really matter.
Curbs, things like that.
Yeah. the height doesn't really
Until my
matter.
Jeffers, I have progressive vision loss. I will eventually lose all my vision.
Mm.
We just don't know when.
Okay. Yeah, so it's really whatever is comfortable for you.
Okay.
Generally, but that's kind of general guidelines.
Okay.
I met a guy who was like 6'4", and his cane was taller than his head. It was over his head.
Oh,
And but he was he'd been blind his whole life, and he's a fast walker. So he used a long cane.
How could he explain to me if it's over his head? How did he do it?
Well, like,
It's like I use it, cane and that.
I feel like just be like that's how tall it is when it's fully like out, but like I
yeah,
feel like the longer it is, it'd be better for you to, because you're a fast walker, so you have to you're getting more out there, so you're knowing what's in front of you before you
Yeah.
get there more. You know what I'm saying?
further out in front of you.
Further out in
that
front of
makes
you.
great sense.
That's
You
the
know,
only-
you
okay.
get to know what's out there further because you're walking faster.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's how I see it, right?
That's exactly.
That's a great
Okay,
way to
cool.
describe it.
You get to know what's out there further.
Okay, it makes sense to me. All right.
See, and I honestly, I really like the height of mine. Mine's like, just right below my
Can I
armpit.
try yours?
Like, well, it's just a little $20 one that I got off of Amazon. It's just just a regular old little. I guess it's the
Yeah,
white
see,
one.
I like the height of
Yeah.
that.
Where's this one? Again? See that? If you like that height better,
See, I don't like this height.
too tall.
Yeah,
Just for
it's too tall.
standing.
Yeah,
Now, see, the
just
height
standing
of
is too
this
tall for me.
with a
But I mean-
ball would be perfect for me, I
But
think.
honestly, I think honestly, I think this is actually a good height because because when I'm using it, I like that. Because I don't really use the handle. I like to go down and I have some of the handle up on my arm.
Mhm.
That way I can control it with my arm and my hand,
I saw a TED talk with a guy, and he came out with a really long cane, and that's how he was holding it kind of in the cradle of his arm.
Yeah, see,
So as to not mess up your wrist
that's how I like
from the,
that's how I like to use mine because I don't know, I feel like it's more difficult just trying to use my wrist.
Yeah.
So I can move it more when I have it inside of my arm. I actually do like the length of it now that I'm thinking about that.
I think
and
it's
this
a
is
Heck, I
perfect
could-
length for me.
Yeah, heck, I
for
could
that same
honestly, I
reason,
could just kind of
just
cradle
with
it,
that kind of tip.
cradle it in the cavity of my arm
Okay.
right here and just. Yeah, I like
Well,
that.
and also like Sam said, you could go out further because you're a fast walker, so you could have it out in front more.
Now, I'm really loving this one right here though.
Here's the ID cane, or the light probing cane. That is, Chris, in a second, you'll feel the difference between the one you're holding there and this one. So this would not stand up to somebody using it for mobility full time.
Then I question whether or not mine was an actual ID cane, because
Yeah.
mine wasn't that flimsy.
Yeah, because you can see how it's, I mean, if you were walking and you got this stuck in something, it
Oh,
it
yeah.
would snap.
So maybe
Yeah,
I
for
had
sure.
the wrong terminology for the one I had.
Maybe.
Mine was more like this
one, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Mine was more thick like this one.
yeah. I mean, all canes technically could be ID canes, but
Right.
these are specifically.
So this is like more for like just letting other people know. This
Letting
one?
other people and like testing steps.
Like
and-
testing steps and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like.
Cause you could tell if you were walking fast and that thing got stuck in a crack or something,
You're gonna
it would
fall.
break or,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I have a feeling like I
It's
could just
just
take my
great.
thumb and push it and break it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's super lightweight. And
Yeah.
then
You can always get red
let me show
tape.
you when it's
Yeah,
folded
no,
up
we
here.
worked on it. But he's been wanting a new cane and I think he likes that.
But something similar
And
to
that-
what Christian's
carrying that
came
around.
with the
Oh, I
that
just,
wall
yeah.
on it.
yeah, I still got my
Jump
free pocket. It just,
Yep,
Yeah.
that's why it's great. They're great for that kind of stuff.
yeah, like that's a good one.
So,
Yeah, I like this one. And I like the handle on it too, though. So I got a flat side on it and
it's called a golf club style.
okay.
It's shaped like a golf club.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. It really is. Okay.
And that's part of the Hoover method. You're actually supposed to hold it in your hand with your index finger going down that flat part. And it helps you to sweep back and forth.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
There
it's,
you go. So you learned something
yeah,
today.
but
Thank you,
once
Sam.
again, I'm in the camp of you use the cane how it works the best for you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like when I was telling you earlier, I was like, I know I ain't been taught, but this is how I learned to use mine.
Yeah.
All right, I'm coming your way with this, Sam.
All right. Okay, so this last one is the not the last one, but let me turn them on here.
This is the electronic.
Hopefully I charged them up the other day. Hopefully it should still be some juice.
This wouldn't work for you because you never charge your phone or anything. Because you have 4 chargers in your room. There's 4 chargers in this room.
I don't use my phone as much as I used to anymore. So like if I have 100% battery, my phone will last a week.
Okay, well this,
You don't use the various apps for
No,
Be
I-
My Eyes or,
No, I just text anymore. I don't get on social media or anything anymore. But I would like to just because.
Well, now Sam talked to you about.
No, I know. Like I've taught myself how to use the voiceover like pretty good, Sam.
yeah, good. Yeah, well, we can, we'll have to have you come back in and we'll talk more about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
so what is this space looking
So-
ship like?
So this is called the We Walk cane. I guess the power, it doesn't have any power in it, I'm sorry, but this, when you see it, Kristen, you'll realize, or you'll see what I'm talking about, but it
Yeah.
has a little circle on top that is a sonar. And so it sends out a pulse of sonar and detects obstacles in your way.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, it's a normal cane. It's got a really, actually a pretty nice rolling marshmallow tip. I do like the tip. It's a good cane.
Yeah, I like the rolling marshmallow one too.
Um,
Would the hearing impaired be able to hear that?
so that's
'Cause
kind
I'm
of the
hearing
problem.
impaired.
So it vibrates. If something is in your way, like a tree branch,
Okay.
it'll vibrate.
The
And
whole
then
stick or just the handle?
just the handle.
Okay.
And then as you get closer, the vibration increases. So you
So
can tell
it's
how
just
far away you are.
vibration. So
Just
you
vibration.
gotta make sure that
Like a
you're
backup
feeling.
camera on
Yeah.
my Jeep that beeps all the time. when I'm
Yeah.
like-
And so that's kind of the problem with these is that, it'll tell you there's something there, but it doesn't tell you where it is. It doesn't tell you, am I about to poke my eye out on a tree branch or, run into a cabinet or something? I don't know.
Oh wait, so you mean like? So there's one at the handle that tells you to?
The handle, no, it just
It's
vibrates. The
just-
handle just
Well,
vibrates.
you said like running into a tree branch, because that's like the only thing that I've had like difficulties with. Is like,
Yeah.
like when I'm like using my cane, like, all right, nothing's there, but I'll still run into something, hit
Oh,
myself in the
that's
head.
heavy.
Mhm. Yeah. So it will detect stuff like that, but it
Oh.
alerts you through vibration.
Oh yeah, no,
Um,
yeah, I get it. I thought I was thinking that it was alerting just stuff on the ground.
No, yeah. So
You know,
anything,
in theory, nice, but
Yeah.
if you're younger and got a good grip, I've got arthritis, I'm getting older, not getting any younger. The first thing I notice is how heavy it is.
Yeah.
it's heavy. It's also not waterproof. So
Mm.
forget walking out in the rain. Try not to drop it down a flight of stairs. Lots of different
Feel how heavy
things.
that handle is.
Oh yeah.
So it also will connect to an app on the smartphone, and it will do turn-by-turn navigation through the speaker on the handle. But and that's Sherry, that's where
Down in
the
the.
problem
corner
comes in
there.
is I tested it out in downtown Baltimore,
There.
Okay.
and I could barely hear it because this city noises
much
were
noise.
so.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's got a tiny little LED light on it. The app is great. It's called the We Walk app. I love the app by itself,
Coming towards you.
but just the cane is I don't know. I'm not great.
Can I
with
get that on my iPhone?
Yeah,
What's it called?
We Walk.
We walk.
WEWALK. It's a great navigation app. It used to be free. They may have started charging. I don't know. And then the last one I have is a prototype that they just sent to me last week. And it's called a rigid cane. So there's canes that fold up, those are folding canes, and then canes that don't fold up, those are called rigid canes. It has a rolling marshmallow tip, just a normal rigid cane. It's white with a red section. But if I press this button on the handle, the entire
Oh, the entire
lights
cane
up.
lights up.
cane lights up, kind of like a halogen stick light or something.
Okay.
It's like a lightsaber.
Like,
Yeah.
like,
The only difference is it's not collapsible.
it's
Yep.
not collapsible.
And then it's got another button here that if I press it, it vibrates. And the thing,
This one?
The sound, does it strobe?
it just vibrates and the light flashes. So the reason for the button is if the cane is turned off, the button doesn't do anything. If it's turned on, the button vibrates. It's to alert the blind person that they left the light on or that the light is on.
Oh, okay.
So that's all it's for. So it's still a prototype. I think they're still working on it. I have some issues with it. But
The
it's
first and obvious, because it's not collapsible. So how are you gonna stick this in your purse or your backpack or your back
Or
pocket?
even
Yeah.
get into a vehicle, you
Yeah.
got like,
so that is a problem with rigid canes, but I tell you, in the blind community, rigid canes are actually preferred because you can actually, they transfer the vibrations and stuff much better. So you can actually feel better with them,
mm,
but you do run into the portability issues.
and what is the beeping mean, Sam?
I think it's just the motor.
Oh.
I told them they should put a little horn on it. So walking through the crowd.
Beep,
Beep,
beep, beep, beep.
beep, beep,
Road
yeah,
runner, beep.
like Roadrunner, yeah.
Here you go, Sam.
So it's just
Did you like that
purely
one? No?
identification or lighting up.
Yeah, I mean, the lighting part was, I mean, to me personally, I don't really. Like the light part doesn't really, I feel like it was for everyone else, not me.
It is for everybody
Yeah.
else.
So I mean, I feel like it would be nice. It's but it's for everyone else to see me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The light,
Exactly.
the light part doesn't personally have an advantage for myself.
Right.
No, but what you said is exactly right.
Yeah, it's for
It's-
everyone else.
It's
Yeah.
for everybody else. Would you please pay a little closer attention? I'm coming up beside you or next to you, behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last one here, I just pulled it out. It's not really crazy cane technology, but it's just to illustrate that canes, white canes, can also come in stability canes. So Christian, this looks like just what, someone who has,
Looks like Mammoth.
yeah, it looks like that, but it's white and it has a red section at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So
So it's
it's,
got like the little curved handle and stuff on it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay.
so it's,
That's the one like I got.
yeah, it's for stability, but it uses the colors to identify the person as having a vision impairment.
Now, can that one get, I saw there's a thing there, halfway up where your hand is there.
Yeah,
Can it get longer? Or
this part screws in
Yeah, you
to
twist
make
it.
it longer or smaller. It doesn't at the top. We do have one over there that has this different sections that you can make it larger, but this one doesn't.
Like the little button you push in and make it longer or whatever.
It's a turning thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You want to hold this one, or it just feels like your grandma?
I get the gist.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's it. That is a look at the crazy cane things that we've got to show people. Do you guys have any questions about anything?
I got one.
Where can I order one of them?
Where would I get
bulk-
one at? A cane.
You said, what was the place called that you get them from?
Yeah, so the ball things you can just get on Amazon.
Okay.
Ambutech is the company up in Canada, and
Yeah,
Marty, they sell the canes. Most of the common canes that we use, most people use in the US, they come from Ambutech.
Okay.
How
But
do you spell it, Sam?
That was my question too.
AMBUTECH.
Yeah.
So like ambulatory with
Okay.
technology.
Oh, okay.
But they also sell their canes on Amazon as well. So I
Yeah.
always recommend people go to Amazon.
Okay.
And they're listed in inches. So Kristen, you would just kind of decide what size do you want. Just use like a broomstick or something like that, and then measure it, and then buy a cane at that length.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're 6 foot tall, you bet you order one for 6 foot tall.
If you
6
want
foot
one
long.
exactly the same height you are.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to figure out how long you want it.
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard earlier, but you can measure to your armpit, to your collarbone, or to your chin. Those are kind
Yeah,
of
I
like
heard that.
the basic areas. So you just kind of decide which length you want.
Okay.
Like the more like collarbone-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about
Armpit-ish.
where yours is.
Well, mine's like an inch or two underneath of my armpit. I feel like I want it a little bit taller, so I'll probably do armpit.
Okay. Well, if you guys have any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the video unless you guys have any questions. Marty or Mary. Was it Mary? Yeah.
Marion. Well, it said
Oh,
on.
Marion.
Yeah.
You have any questions? Okay. Well, we'll go.
I don't.
Okay, good. All right, well, we'll go ahead and wrap up this video. Once again, thank you guys for watching in the future, and all the important information links will be in the description down below the video. Give us a call. We're happy to help, and we will see you in the next one. And now I got to figure out how to stop the recording because I can never remember.
Yeah, I want to go in there and order one of them.
Yeah.
It's funny, Sam,